This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
Headline inflation in Nigeria has dropped once again, with the latest report from the National Bureau of Statistics showing it at 16.05% in October of 2025. Niger, Anambra and Enugu saw the highest month-on-month changes, while Edo, Katsina and Adamawa had the lowest. The latest figures bring inflation much closer to the federal government's 15% target by the end of 2025. Joining us on this discussion is Vincent Oshoma. Mr. Oshoma is an economist. Good morning and welcome to the conversation, Mr. Oshoma.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Let's talk about the trend so far. Since the rebasing that happened, I think this was February of this year or so, and hitting 16.0% as of October of 2025. What are your initial thoughts on how we've been able to drive down inflation?
The initial thought, which most people will accept, is that when you have inflation going down, it's a welcome development and means that things, Nigerians should be hopeful that things should get better. But there are other factors, other things that people will be looking at. The level of drop in inflation, and also people asking questions, is that in reality on ground? So those are now the other side of it. But looking at it, the figure is something that is a welcome development, something we should be happy
about. So just to piggyback off that bit that you said, I actually have seen a few people who have been questioning the data from the NBS. Why is there cause for disbelief with these figures?
I think why people are be questioning the data is, does this drop in inflation reflect what the average Nigerian is facing? That's what people are saying. So because when you look at it, last month we have 18.02, and this month we have 16.05. So people are looking at almost 2% drop when you look at it from last month to this month. So I think that's why people are questioning it. But that will not take away the fact that, as some persons may have observed, there have been some reduction in the price of some commodities. But to the level of what impact the reduction has had on the inflation figure, that's what will now be questionable by most people. And another thing that Nigerians will also be looking at is that, which is another explanation for the reduction, is the fact that we had a rebasing. So that is a major contributing factor. A rebasing of the system of the calculation of inflation is a major contributing factor. And people are now also looking at the fact that as things become better for them, when you look at what happened, especially with the coming of this administration, where Nigerians were for this administration and where they are now.
Hello, Mr. Oshoma, can you hear us? Hello, Mr. Oshoma. Sincerest apologies. We seem to be getting an interference. The network quality dropped for a moment. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, I can hear you now. So, you know what? Let me interrupt your response with a question. I've seen at least one debate that speaks to how inflation is dropping, but we're not seeing a corresponding movement in the yield curve, an indication that investors, particularly within the bond market, are not really, they're not moving along with the inflation figures. And you started talking about Nigerians and whether or not they're seeing the impact of this drop in inflation. Is it because we're making comparisons to pre-2023 levels and not really taking into account current realities? So essentially comparing October of 2025 to, say, October of 2024 or even October of 2023?
Yes, inflation is calculated year on year. So you will be looking at it from October of 2024. But the thing that people need to understand is that the figures that is being used to calculate the figure, the inflation for October 2025, is not directly based on October of 2024 because there was a change in the base year calculation. So what we saw in 2024 is different from what we are using because you have to use a different base year. 2024 was based on the 2023 figures, but 2025 figures is not directly based on 2024 figures because they use a different base year of 2029, and that has calculated. There has been a recalculation of the figures, so that will definitely impact what we have for 2025. The NBC clearly got that statement out in terms of attributing what are the factors contributing to the drop in here. And the first thing they mentioned is the fact that there was a rebasing, which everybody knows definitely has impact.
So, Mr. Oshoma, as part of what the central bank has been saying, recently they launched a strategy that's aimed at, one, continuing to reduce inflation as well as helping income to grow. I wonder if that particular statement, the strategy that they have in place and what we are seeing with the inflation numbers indicates that everything is going, for want of a better expression, according to plan.
Yes, that's what I said, that there are different factors. Without Nigerians, we attest the fact that there are factors that we expect to lead to reduction in inflation. But what people may be querying is to what level. The level of reduction is what is not the issue. Because if you look at some of the things that have happened with the stability in the naira, and Nigeria being an import-dependent economy, that definitely will flow into inflation. We are also in the harvest season, so definitely with a large harvest, and we didn't experience much flood in this year, so definitely that will flow into reducing inflation. So the CBN to certify that the CBN efforts have also helped in the stability of the naira, and also the bonds that we have raised have helped us to stabilize and have a improvement in our reserve. These are other factors that have led to the stability of the naira, which is a welcome development and definitely should flow into our inflation figures. But to what level is this impacting inflation? That is why what people are not questioning.
Mr. Oshoma, thank you very much for your time and expertise on this conversation. Our guest, Vincent Oshoma, is an economist who joined us to speak on the inflation numbers for the month of October 2025. The figure stands at 16.05%.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.